idea, you know what I mean, how you can get involved. If you're not really a musician, how you can get your kid involved in the music, and you know, try to bridge all the time. You know, you've got to try to bridge these gaps. You know, you've got a lot of people out there. The music market is very weird. There's a lot of things people don't know about it. It has about a 95% acceptance rate that playing a musical instrument is a good thing. Yeah, that acceptance rate on a national average, about 95% of people think that that's a good thing to play a musical instrument. However, only about 4% of people own and play a musical instrument.
Right. Yeah.
So the thing is that, I mean, if you said that about snowboarding or hang gliding or anything else, the odds are better.
Yeah.
You know, the odds of people saying playing music is a good thing, I like it, I want to support it, my kids ought to do it, I ought to do it. We don't do it. We have nothing to do with it. It's like real big difference there. So I'm pretty philanthropic to the industry about getting people involved in from a lot of different levels. This national TV show is the perfect venue to do that. And you know, DJing is just another part of being a musician.
Yeah.
Because when those guys are DJing, they're learning about rhythm, they're learning how to really do some of the skills and things like that. It's not exactly like playing a musical instrument, but I don't know that playing a trombone is exactly like playing the piano. Yeah. So, I mean, they're all, you know what I mean? But, you know, if they're making music with it and they think they're making music with it, and there's a certain amount of astuteness that goes along to being able to do that, you know, where do you draw the line when you say a person who's playing a saw really good, right?
Yeah.
It might take them 20 years to learn how to do that.
Right, yeah.
You know, I've seen people do amazing things with musical instruments. Who's to say, you know, you can't do it being a DJ or something. So I think that all in all, it all releases the same endorphin that playing music delivers. When people play music, there's a certain endorphin that your brain releases that's really, really good for you.
Yeah.
And I know a lot about that. I've read a lot of the studies for many years, and it varies depending on how old you are in your life. The effects that has.
Does it keep you young?
Actually, it does. In older people and seniors, and this has been a really great study, and I think a really important study, that in seniors it actually releases the same type of aftermath that they would if they would have had an orgasm. So it actually makes them a lot more sexier.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes them healthier. Sex is a healthy thing, and old people don't do it too much. So playing music supplements the lack of having sex and actually makes them healthier.
That'd be interesting seeing some old, you know, just going to the senior things and seeing a jam. That'd be kind of cool.
When they play a musical instrument, it's a different thing, you know what I mean? So if you can get people playing a musical instrument, but now kids, it's got a completely different thing. With little kids, it actually makes their brain work better. It makes them better at math. All these things are proven. You know, they've had these studies going on for like 15, 20 years, and you know, what it does for the different age groups. And besides, this is a really good thing. But you won't find very many things that so many people in comparison agree is good, and then the odds are completely opposite.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's huge, and especially with something like music. So I think we've done a poor job of marketing that and a poor job of educating that and really bringing that across. And you know, musicians are really part and parcel of that, because musicians don't want other people to be musicians. You know what I mean? Musicians a lot of times don't want other people to
because they think that they don't want to listen to somebody learning an instrument, kind of thing.
You know, I think another part of it is that musicians kind of like being in that monogamy, you know, in that little section, you know what I mean? In their own little monopolized world is what I want to say.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think musicians aren't, you know, they're not as proactive as getting people involved in it, because they're just a little bit
absorbed.
They're a little bit, you know, they're a little bit kind of keep it in. You know what I mean? Like it's a secret type of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Especially if they're guitar players. No, just kidding. I think that there's a side of that though, where they don't want the extra. They may not want the extra competition, or they may not want to feel like, you know, musicians like to feel like they're pretty special.
Yeah.
And I think if
You have an
everyone...
ego about it, in other words.
Yeah, and I think a long time ago, though, there was a lot more musicians than there is now per capita.
Maybe.
Yeah. A lot more people played a musical instrument, you know, to a certain degree a long time ago because they had time to and stuff like that. And then I think it kind of gravitated away from it, you know?
Yeah, because it's like if you want to make a living or something, it's kind of probably not so easy to do that now.
Maybe not so easy to do.
Yeah.
Maybe not so easy to
think about that. I think you're right.
Making it, yeah. Well, you know, Eddie Van Halen told me. He said, you know how you make $1 million playing jazz? And I said, how? And he said, start with $2 million.
That's pretty funny.
So I think that, I think that playing music for making money is, you know, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I've done it and made some money off of it.
Do you ever do any recording?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A long time ago.
I got an API lunch.